All right, we are back. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I'm a bit out of sorts. I bumped my mic as well. Let me quickly get my checks done, and then we can talk about this game. As you can probably tell, I am very ill. Um, I've been outside today, and I've caught the man flu, the old common cold. Let me pause that. Let's get the chat out. Um, let's get talking about this game because this is an interesting one. Um, this is a game which, by all by all standards, we should be absolutely dominating, absolutely winning, and there should be no realm in which Southampton are able to get any success against us. However, we have got a history of falling to these teams. We have a history which is hopefully behind us now that we are in a new era under Enzo Maresca. But also the fact that because this is a midweek game and we will probably be rotating the team around, and obviously I'll get into the lineup and what I personally think the lineup's going to be in a second here, before the lineups get released to to social media, which hopefully won't be early like they were last time, and and kind of before the time they're expected. But yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of a rotated side. Hopefully, it'll still be strong enough to beat Southampton. Now, this game in particular is quite interesting because again, it's another same situation that we had from from the last fixture, where we basically have to just better the result of Arsenal in terms of goal difference for us to go up to second, which is really cool because I've just quickly checked my social media. Apparently, there are going to be rotation buttons. So, the rotation button has been hit, according to Nizar. So we're probably going to get some big rotations there. I'll actually probably get into the lineups pretty quickly here, but hang on. Let me see. So obviously we are playing 20th place Southampton. I'm just trying to get the table up, and obviously, we're playing Southampton. Arsenal are playing Manchester United. Now, very interesting fixture there for them because United can be a bit of a stubborn team. They can be a bit of a bogey team for some, and obviously, they can be a team that kind of limits how many goals you can get, even if you are successful. So, that's what we're kind of hoping if Arsenal do win today against United, which I expect them to do, despite them having the whole new manager bounce and things. I expect Arsenal to win that game. If they do, hopefully it's only by a goal or two, and we can absolutely put the sword to Southampton today and probably get 4 or 5 and then get above them. I have not seen the rumours about letting Reece James go because I don't really entertain those. I don't think he's a player that could particularly. I don't think he's a player that can particularly be sold, if I'm being honest. No team is going to take the risk on him considering his injury record, and for the price that we're expected to ask for him, I just don't think that's ever going to be a possibility. I think he's going to be here for a long time. We just kind of have to hope that he gets over his injury problems. Let's swap into the tactical cam here, and let's kind of talk about this lineup. So, as I said, because this is a midweek game, I'm going to rotate this as if it's a cup game, as if it's a Conference League game, and there's no disrespect to Southampton, but they aren't at the level that we kind of are, and despite them kind of being a bit better in recent weeks and being able to string a few goals together and things like that, I think that our rotated side is going to be good enough to win this game, right? So let's get into this immediately. The first player I'm going to be putting in, instead of Robert Sanchez, is going to be Philip Jurgensen. I think this is the safest rotation we can make. I think Jurgensen is in very good form at the moment. I think that he doesn't really to detract from our first team strength, and I don't think taking out Sanchez really matters that much. In fact, Sanchez is one of the players that if we don't rotate players, he could just play because, again, he's a goalkeeper. There isn't as much strenuous kind of... there isn't as much strain on goalkeepers than there are the outfield players, obviously, because they're not running around all the time, but yeah, I think that Jurgensen can fill in there. For the right back, I am going to be putting in Gusto, if I can find him. Malagusto, because I think that because he didn't play, and obviously we had Caicedo playing in this right back hybrid role at Villa. I think that he will play as he kind of comes back into fitness. I don't think he'll play the full 90. I feel like he'll probably get about 60, 70 minutes, then be taken off for someone else, like Disasi, for example. Next to him, I would expect to see Tosin Adarabi-Oyo. Again, Premier League experience for him, so I don't think this is much of an issue rotating Fofana out. And obviously Fofana has been injured, or had to come off injured, and I don't think that he will play today. Hopefully they won't take the risk on him. The players which are kind of injury risks, I don't think will be selected today. So I don't think particularly that Lavia is going to play. For example, we'll kind of talk about that once we get further up. Next to Tosin Adarabi-Oyo, we're going to be putting in, if I can find him, Big Ben Badiashile. Again, he's a player that's kind of played a lot of football recently because he had to do double duty the other day. But I think he'll come in. I think this is pretty standard for him. And then at the left back spot, I think this is pretty obvious too. I think Renato Vega will be able to slot in here nicely for Marc Cucurella. This is one which I am a bit, kind of, what's the word? A bit suspect on, so I'm not sure about this. I think he might be able to play in the midfield instead, and we might see Cucurella play again, because we know how industrious Cucurella is, and he can kind of just go on forever, so maybe his fitness isn't that too much of an issue, but I think this is fine. We can rotate Vega out. He can be the kind of left centre-back as Gusto inverts, so I think that's kind of what's going to happen. Into the midfield we go, and this one's hard, because this is the area where I feel like we could really get caught out if we're not kind of locked in a way. And I think that Caicedo is still going to start despite us rotating players. I think that he is so good at being that dynamo in the middle that I don't think that he's going to get replaced. I feel like he's one of the players that kind of has to start. As well as we'll kind of talk about some other players as we go further up. I feel like he has to start. He's obviously been one of the players for the last 2 years or the last 2 seasons that has just been very anti-injury. He's basically played so much football, and he rarely actually gets out of the team. So I think he'll play. I don't think Lavia will be risked again. Further up, that means that I will be playing. If I can find him. Am I okay? Where is it? Where is he? I'm gonna be playing Joao Felix if I can get the guy. Okay, my thing is lagging. It does this a lot. I'm going to be playing Joao Felix on this left-hand side. And I think this is going to be quite an attacking team from us. And I would expect to see us continue to play Palmer. Again, just because Palmer doesn't play the cup games. He doesn't play the Europa League Conference League games. I don't think that he needs particularly a rest as much as the others do. So I think he's a player that can play. Obviously, he's kind of our talisman in the Premier League. And I think that against a team like Southampton that aren't the greatest quality, I think that he'll kind of thrive in that kind of inside 10 role. I think that him and Felix will kind of play as double 10s, with Vega obviously coming into the midfield with Caicedo. For the attacking roles, we're going to start on the right. Now, I think that where is he? This one's hard, because basically the dilemma that I face here, and in fact, actually, let's talk about the striker first. I think that Nkunku will start. I think Nkunku can come in for Jackson, even though Jackson's another player which I feel like Palmer could kind of just play again. I don't see any reason to risk injury in that regard, and I think Nkunku's perfectly decent enough to play as a striker in this game, especially considering we've got two kind of attacking midfielders here. We don't really need a out-and-out striker. We can kind of bounce between these two. I think that we're going to be swapping the wingers around, because I don't think, as he's just come back from injury recently, I don't think Sancho is going to play. I'd imagine that Mudryk plays, and it's going to be good to see Mudryk play in the Prem. I think that would be a good opportunity for him to kind of show his progression, because we've been seeing him do well in the midweek games, but we haven't really tested him against really high level opposition yet. And though Southampton are kind of not the greatest side, I think that's a kind of definitely a step up from the Heidenheims and the Hents and the things like that, right? They're certainly a better team than those types of people. And then, of course, on the opposite side, I would imagine the guy who came on at Aston Villa, if I can find him, Noni Madueke, would also rotate into the side. This is my prediction. I think that this is a pretty solid team. The only kind of question I have is maybe Palmer doesn't start. Maybe we don't risk him. But as I said, because he doesn't play in the rotational games, I feel like he's one of the players that we can kind of risk playing twice in a row. And even though we've got a really big game against Tottenham coming up, I think that he doesn't really mind playing like 3 games in a row. I think he's the one player in our team that can really do that. Has the lineups actually been released yet? We've got half an hour until they usually get released an hour before the actual kickoff. So I'm not sure if they're actually out yet. Oh, we do. They've literally just come out as I said that. Oh, very interesting. Okay, that's a very interesting team. Let me get the other screen up, and we can kind of react to this in real time. Let me just swap to this real quick. Whilst I get this up. As I said, sorry if I sound awful, by the way. I am very, very ill. And it's not showing up. There we go. So we go to this one. This screen. And it's not showing up for some reason. Why are you not showing up? Hello? Window capture is not working. One sec. Actually, I might just be able to... I might just be able to just copy and paste this into the tactics board now. Is that gonna work? Hello? Do you want to work for me? Technology? No? Okay. Well, that's great. I can put that in there. That kind of works. I apologise for the old technical issues. I can't escape them, it seems, nowadays. No matter how much I tried to prepare. I was trying to find alternatives to Microsoft Whiteboard as I was trying to update the stream and stuff, and it didn't really work by the looks of things. Will you work now? Nope. Okay. Well, this is really annoying. Why are you not working? Hopefully that works. Nope, it's gone white again. What is going on? Why is this doing this to me? Oh, there we go. Got it. We've got it. Let me hide myself for a second here. Let me move myself over. Now we can talk about the actual team. Here we go. So, a little bit different to what I was expecting. The main difference here, we'll actually go through this. We have Jurgensen, who I thought we'd see. We see Gusto, who I thought we'd see. We get Disasi in instead of Badiashile, and that makes sense because, as I said, Badiashile's played a few games in a row recently, and I think that's smart considering that we might Fofana's injured. Considering Fofana's injured, I don't think that risking Badiashile, because we'll probably play him and Colwill together in the Tottenham game. I would imagine that would be the centre-back pairing. So playing Tosin and Disasi, that makes sense to me. Cucurella playing in the left-back spot is very interesting, because I feel like that's one place where Vega can come in and kind of be quite solid. But as I said earlier, I think that Cucurella is an industrious player. He is a very fit player, so him playing twice in a row, maybe 3 times in a row, I don't think is going to harm him that much. We get Caicedo and Enzo in the middle, and Enzo obviously captaining us in Reece James's absence. That's quite interesting. I was quite surprised to see Enzo start. Caicedo makes sense. I expect to see Caicedo every week, pretty much. Enzo is a bit of a different story. That's cool, though, because it makes us have that creativity in midfield, and this does look quite attacking from where we are. We see Palmer in the starting 11, like I kind of predicted. Let's move over so you can kind of see there. We get Palmer in the 11, like I predicted. We get Felix in the 11, like I predicted. No Mudryk, but we get Madueke instead. So instead, and obviously then we get Nkunku up top. So let's move this around to kind of show what we actually do have here. So we've probably got Felix on the left-hand side. We have Enzo on this left-hand side here. And let's just send that to the back. Okay, so this is what the team will look like, and obviously we'll get rid of Badiashile too, in favour of Disasi. I imagine Tosin will play on the left-hand side. We see Disasi on the right-hand side because he's stronger there, and then Vega's out for Mark Cucurella. So this is the team. I think this is how it will work. This is pretty standard. I don't think that we're gonna be, I don't think we're gonna be particularly. I don't think we're going to be swapping this around from a normal formation. I would imagine that this is the way we kind of play. I imagine that Gusto plays the inverted role, and we kind of get Disasi on this right side with Cucurella playing this left side. Let's actually make him a little bit bigger here, Gusto. So we're going to see this box. In fact, it'll probably be more of the diamond, because we'll probably see Palmer play here. I'd imagine Palmer would play as a 10 with Caicedo deeper and Fernandes here. This is kind of what we'll see, with obviously Gusto trying to get high as he can. But the only thing is, the interesting thing here is that Felix probably won't play off the left-hand side. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. They'll probably play as a top, like a top two. We'll probably see Cucurella or Enzo kind of occupy this left space for the majority of the game. I'd imagine it'd be Enzo. He likes to go out wide on the right-hand side and Madueke on this left-hand side. For the most part, I think we'll see Felix and Kunku as kind of like a top two. Or we'll kind of see maybe Felix play a bit more central and Kunku can go out to the left, because I think Felix is more of a strikery striker than Kunku is. Obviously, Nkunku's always been a bit of a second striker, and these two bounce off each other very, very, very well. So maybe we see that. That'll be good to see. Yeah, kind of. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's happened with Mudryk. I'll actually have to let me see if I can check some of the surrounding reaction to the to the lineup, because I don't think there's been. It's weird because we saw Mudryk in training, obviously doing the blindfold challenge, and I thought he'd be like a shoo-in to start, considering we're rotating. Kind of shocking that he's not in the starting 11. Let's quickly check the let's quickly bring this back to the front. Let's check the subs. Who have we got on the subs? So we've got Sanchez on the bench. We knew that. Colwell's on the bench. Badiashil's on the bench. Lavia is on the bench. Vega's on the bench. No Mudryk on the bench either. Very interesting. So I think something's definitely happened to him. I'd imagine he's probably got injured or is ill or something. Because that's very bizarre, him not playing. Nice to see KDH get an opportunity on the bench, and I think he'll probably be one of our substitutes. Jackson's on the bench. Obviously, he can probably come on. I think we'll try and try and kind of not make as many substitutes as possible and kind of keep everyone fit. I don't see. People say he'll start on Sunday. I thought that if he's going to start on Sunday, I would probably expect to see him on the bench at least. And especially against such a big team. It's definitely, yeah, so it's definitely an option for him to play from the start, but I think that that's not a risk that Enzo would take. We've kind of seen that Enzo has preferred Neto and Sancho as kind of like our first team options for the wings, and obviously with Sancho and Neto both being on the bench, that makes more sense for me as a starting pair. I'll have to see. As I said, I'll have to see later if there's any news surrounding that, because that will probably come out as we're going to walk through this. But yeah, this is very, 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 very interesting rotated side. One thing I will say, I'm glad to see Enzo taking this obviously rotating because we need to, and obviously having to rotate for the Tottenham game and understanding the importance of the Tottenham game. But I'm very glad that he is taking this seriously, because as I said, Southampton, despite being the bottom of the league, they are a bogey team. They have been getting better in recent weeks, and against a kind of rotated defence that haven't played together very often, and obviously Jurgensen too, who hasn't played very many, if any, Premier League minutes this season, I think that's a very smart thing to do, to have some more experience in here, like Palmer, like Enzo, like Caicedo, like Cucurella, having that kind of core. I think that Cucurella, Caicedo, and Palmer are like that actual kind of core of our team that doesn't rarely ever change. The rest of the players can kind of rotate, but these three are very, 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 very important for us, I would say. As I said, very good to see Jurgensen get some Premier League minutes, because this is a very big day for him to kind of say, hey, look, I can play in the Premier League. I can start for this team, because we've seen it. And obviously, despite Sanchez having a good game last time out against Aston Villa, and I think that those two kind of motivate each other, Jurgensen and Sanchez, and it's good to have healthy competition. And I think that it's very funny how Jurgensen has a player of the match level performance, and then immediately the next game we see Sanchez play much better than we've seen him play. So those two kind of motivating each other to play well. But yeah, good to see Philip getting an option, getting an opportunity in the Premier League, and good to see like I said, good to see the core or the middle kind of play. The only area that kind of worries me is this centre back duo of Tosin and Disasi. I'm a little bit kind of hesitant to about these two because they have been a bit sloppy at times. Tosin, I think, is much more comfortable in the central role, so hopefully he can play there quite comfortably. Yeah, we need to avenge the double that they did on us 2 years ago. That's a wild thing. So this is a fun thing. Fun fact about the Mono family. My mother went to university in Southampton, so we have a bit of a Southampton kind of connection in my family. But unfortunately, we hope that they get battered. So there we go. As I said, I don't know what I'm going to predict for. What should I predict for a score prediction here? Because I said I'll probably end this stream here soon. So I've got about an hour to prepare for the game. I would be shocked if we, I would be very, very shocked if we do not come away from this game with a clean sheet. I know how good Jurgensen has been, and as a shot stopper, I think that's his kind of best attribute is his ability to save things. So I don't think that Southampton will score. I think it will get very close. I genuinely believe what will probably happen is they will score, but it will get chalked off for an offside or something like that. I expect that to be that to happen, and it's kind of going to be quite demoralising for them. I'm going to play it safe. I don't think we're going to absolutely batter Southampton, even though this is a game where I could foresee us scoring 6 or 7. I'm going to go a bit more reserved. I'm going to say 4-0. I think that we'll probably win this game 4-0. Who will score? Because I did last time when I did my prediction live, I didn't actually say who I thought would score. I reckon in this game against Southampton, we'll see Felix get a goal. I think Palmer will probably get a goal. This is a classic goal and assist for Palmer moment. I think we'll probably see Nkunku get the other 2, maybe. It depends on if we get any penalties. If we get penalties, then I think Palmer will get 2. In fact, actually, that's probably what we'll see. We'll probably see 2 Palmer goals. We'll see 1 for Nkunku, 1 for Felix. I imagine that's kind of but yeah, I expect that to happen. Cool. Right. Yeah, and I said if we win, we go up to 2nd place as long as we beat Arsenal's goal difference. So if Arsenal draw against United, which is very possible with them having the new manager bounce with Ruben Amorim coming in, or if they win that game but only by a couple of goals and we get more, we go up to 2nd. The only reason we aren't 2nd right now, this is crazy. This is rarely ever happens in the Premier League. We are tied for every single metric. And because we drew 1-1 with them, we don't have a head-to-head advantage either. The only reason we are not 2nd in the league right now is because of alphabetical order. Which is crazy because their team name starts with A and ours starts with C, and C is after A in the alphabet. We are in 3rd and they are in 2nd. So very, very good for us. And obviously we are not kind of entertaining the idea of a title race. I think that over the course of the season, I think that we will probably taper off. And I think that Enzo Maresca has very clearly stated in press conferences, and he's been a bit demure, a bit shy, kind of saying, hey, we'll kind of temper our expectations. We'll just try and get top 4 this season. But you never know. If we win here, maybe Liverpool slip up a few games. They have to play some of the better teams in the league as well as we do. Hopefully we can do that. Please stop spamming hearts in the chat. I'm just going to put you in timeout. I'm sorry. I understand that it's an exciting time, but just please don't spam. But yeah, so that is one thing that we can kind of take from it as well. I saw someone saying about bookings. This is a risky one because we have a few players that are 1 game away from a suspension. Jackson is one of those, I believe. You know how much of a hothead he can be and how he just gets unnecessary yellow cards all the time. Don't want to risk him not being there for Tottenham, especially considering how high the line that Tottenham play is, and he will be very good against them. We saw that last season, how well he was against them. Who's the other one? I think Cucurella might be the other one actually. So that's kind of worrying. I'm not actually sure. I'm pretty sure it's Cucurella. So hopefully he doesn't get any silly yellow cards, even though he's a player that likes to do that too, because he's a player that likes to break up the play. But yeah, so I foresee, I said I foresee a 4-0 win here. Palmer getting 2 and Kunku getting 1, Felix getting 1, and we'll just have to see whether we can actually perform, because this is a game that genuinely does scare me, because this is one of those games where in the past, as a kind of history of Chelsea, is that this is the type of game which we slip up in, where we get like a silly draw because of a penalty given away or something like that, and we don't win this game. But yeah, we can take full advantage of a easier fixture today and go up to second place in the table if we do win. Thank you guys for hanging out in the chat, and looking forward to the game as well. Hopefully, we can do my tactical breakdown after the game tomorrow, and yeah, we can move out, and yeah, hopefully we get a good result here. I'll see you guys. I'll be talking on my Twitter. If you don't follow me on my Twitter, that's usually where I do my live tweeting for the games, like my live commentary and my reactions and stuff. My links to that will be down in the description, I believe, so go follow me there if you do not follow me on here. And yeah, have a good evening, everyone, and I'll talk to you after the game. Peace.